Hello everyone and welcome to Tailored Acres. I'm Taylor and I am a gardener in central Wisconsin, zone 4B, and today's video is about dividing perennials. Oh, your ear's inside out. He's very needy right now. So I'm going to go through all the perennials that I just divided because I did a ton of them, and I'm also going to go through kind of like my basic techniques on two different types, I think, and I'll put those at the end. I'll go through all the things that I divide first, and then the techniques will be at the end. The best time to divide your perennials, in my opinion at least, is when you have time to. You're usually not going to really traumatize it enough to kill it. It may struggle for a little bit, but doing it and getting it done is usually my priority over the perfect timing. But if you are looking for the perfect timing, fall, early fall, so like when it starts to cool off, still 4 to 6 weeks before the ground is gonna freeze, just so you have time to, or they have time to set roots, or early spring when they are just starting to emerge, and when we usually have lots of rain, so the roots will get well developed. But remember, anytime after you divide something, you need to keep it watered super well. That's probably the most important thing. Also, a general rule of thumb is like after it's done blooming, not while it's blooming, is going to be a lot happier as well. So things like that are spring blooming, you're going to want to do in the fall. Otherwise, it may, if you divide it in spring, it may not bloom that year. So other than that, I don't know. Have at it. We are going to start in the median garden here. And I have done a lot of dividing here, and I'm dividing in this area because a few of the plants got pretty big, but my main goal here is to just have more of the same things that I really like, so that we create more unity in this space and also kind of fill it in a little bit more. So this first one here is lamb's ear, and I'm going to be I haven't done this yet, but I'm going to be digging up a little clump and then separating it out. They each, kind of each little plant can be separated from there. I also did my alliums here, and those are very easy to split, and you can split them down pretty small as well. So those are, so now I have 3 here instead of the 2, and then I put some in the front garden as well. I also did this Stocky's Humolo. So this was actually huge, and I divided it into 3 plants, which are still rather big. So that's going to be a really nice clump of those next year. I also earlier did my catmint, and this and that one there that's looking pretty sad were salvia that I divided. So one's purple and one's pink. So that is now throughout this area, and then also in the front. I did do quite a few iris, which I have a specific example of that. Those are way different than anything else that you grow in your garden. I'm probably going to do the silver mound still so I can get some in front. Those are very easy to split as well. I just did this Hakanakaloa, which I had in front of the house, and it got quite a bit of sun there. This spot also gets quite a bit of sun, so I'm hoping they do well here. If not, I'll move it to a more shady spot. But it's really gorgeous. It looks pretty sad right now and very thin, but those are going to bring a lot of nice color to this area. Next we have some anemones, and these are also really easy to get more of. So they send kind of like runners out with these little guys here, you can see. So what you would do is just dig this up, and there's going to be like a root ball under it, and you take those and spread them around. And I think that's it for here. I probably could do the Veronica, but I'm probably going to wait till next year on that. And I am also going to be doing the Carl Forrester grass that's back here. This is the path that I'm working on. I'm so excited for it. So this is the Carl Forrester grass here. I'm going to divide those and get 2 right here to kind of delineate the start of the path more. And then I'm also going to be dividing the seed them, but I'm not going to do that until spring just because they bloom for so long and it's interest right now. I don't want them to wilt or like go into shock. There are like so many bees on this, so we're not going to mess with that. So some of my divisions ended up in this garden area here. So I have 2 alliums on the side. I got this new artemisia that I'm going to plant in there. So that this area just needs more plants. It's kind of bare. And then I got some Hakanakloa in here too. I had some Tiarella in here and it just did not like this spot. And then up front here is where a lot of the median garden plants ended up as well. So we have the salvia and the alliums and some of the humalo up here. And then also with some new plants. This one was a tidbit. It's not firelight. Something tidbit. It stays really small but gorgeous blooms. I have another Baptisia up here, which are one of my favorite plants. And then 9 bark, which I got this little bit bigger one, so I'm going to switch those 2 out. And one of those is going to go on the side. Sorry, I'm getting kind of derailed here. I just have so much going on. I'm so excited. So many garden changes. So this area will have a lot of the plants from the median garden. So that was one of my main goals in division. So at some point I need to tackle all the iris here, but I may wait until next year to do that just because I don't have unlimited time in the fall. Now we're into the pink garden, which is next to our garage here. So I did a lot of plants in here because this garden was also kind of empty and we just needed more of the same things in here for some more unity in the look. So we have this little grass here. I divided that into 3 and planted it throughout. We have a hosta that I divided as well. And I do have an example of that at the end because those are a little bit different than most things as well. This allium I may divide still. It's really big. The sedum as well. I would really like some of this in the median garden, so I'll probably divide that in the spring again, like I said earlier, because there are so many bees. I don't know if you can see them all. It's crazy. That's just where they live. I have some iris that I split and transferred into here. This grass, which I think is like a Korean featherweed grass, it's a variegated one. I divided that. I will be dividing the hens and chicks at some point here, but I just got this one new and it just put out its babies this spring, so I'm gonna be waiting on that one. And then this is just like a garden mum, a hardy one, and that one I should have trimmed it back in before July, but I didn't, so it flopped. But that one is also really easy. You just kind of dig out a portion of it that you want to move and it will keep getting bigger. And I think that's it for this area here. All right, now we're in the back in the lily garden, and back here I divided all of the heuchera and hostas that I have and just spread them more throughout. So like they're tiny little clumps now, but hopefully this will like fill in the space a lot better for next year. And I might even have to like adjust the spacing a little bit because I just need things closer together. I have apparently a habit of just giving them a little bit too much space, which encourages weed growth. And that's not something we're looking for. So back here as well, you can easily divide the daylilies. Just dig it all up and slice off a clump. Just make sure you have roots with it. Lots of iris to divide back here as well. And some more planting to do, as you can see. So I did also divide a bunch of my iris and put them back here. So in this area, I want to have iris blooming in the spring. Then it will go to the daylilies next, and then the dahlias will take over in the fall. Which the dahlias didn't do a whole lot back here. I definitely need to work on the soil for next year for some more blooms. One more honorable mention of one that I've divided quite a bit in the past is this blazing star, gay feather, I think it's like liatris. Those are really easy to divide too. You take the clump and kind of like pry it apart, and each one of these like stalks kind of has its own little root and bulb system. So those are really easy to divide as well. So that is it for the plants that I divided this year in my garden, or will be dividing. So now I'm just kind of going to go through and show you a division of this Stockies Humolo here. So first I'm going to you can just use a shovel, but this tool here, it gets between the roots so you're not slashing all the roots. So I'm digging kind of around the drip line of the plant, and that just means kind of where the foliage ends. And that's usually where like the majority of the roots are, the root ball is going to be. So I'm just gently going around and loosening it, and then I'm going to pop the whole thing out here. Next, I'm going to take my handy bread knife that is just a gardening knife now, and this is nice because it's long and it's really sharp. So what I'm doing here is trying to find a natural division of this plant, and usually you can see it at least a little bit. So I kind of take a third of it and bend the leaves back like that, and then we're just going to go straight down. So we want to get some of that root ball plus some of the extra little roots coming off. And you can see here what we got going on inside. It kind of is naturally dividing, and that's how you end up with dead spots in the middle of bigger plants, is that it goes to the outside. So usually you end up cutting a few leaves off, and that's totally fine as long as you end up with some still connected here, because we want this plant to still be alive even though it is fall. So that is a division that I will be planting separately. And why I did this in thirds is because it was so big. So then I'm just going to do this part in half because it was 2/3 of my plant. And I just found that this is the easiest way to do it because on the second cut you can see exactly what you got going on. So you're only going to want to do this third method on a bigger plant. Most of them, if they're smaller, you're just going to want to do in half, so kind of follow that same first procedure, but just do it in more of a natural half point of the plant. So when I replant things, I always use Biotone starter fertilizer. It really seems to be a nice balance, and gives it a head start. And it is a slow release fertilizer, so it keeps it fed for quite a while. And again, once I get this planted, I'm going to get it well watered in. This is actually tape that I'm taking off because this area was cardboarded in, and apparently I didn't get all the tape off the cardboard boxes. So, which that cardboard method worked super well for this area. No complaints on that. And one more note, when you're planting, make sure that you're planting it back at the same level that it was before. You don't want to put it deeper or more shallow. The plant will definitely struggle with that. This clump is salvia, and salvia grows more like in chunks. So you want to make sure that you're going down into the plant a little bit into the dirt and making sure that you're getting the leaves where there is that natural division, which I'm trying to show you here. So you can kind of feel it. And then, like, if you bend them over, you can tell where they're going in. And obviously when they're in half, it's even easier to see. You can see right there, I'm holding a chunk that goes down into the dirt together. So try to keep those together when you're doing salvia. So again, here I'm just looking for that natural division. And then I'm going to slide my knife into there and then cut it straight down, so that I get the root ball and some of the extra roots as well. This next one here is a clump of iris, and it really needed to get divided. You can see there's a large dead spot in the middle, and that's where the original planting was. So this is actually one solid unit. This came from one corm from the ranunculus. I don't know if ranunculus are corms or not. I can't think right now. But basically, I'm just going to kind of wiggle them apart, and you can kind of feel the inside will be lighter and won't have roots coming off of it. That's the dead part. So you can just remove that. You don't need that part anymore. All you need is the little ends to have roots and a piece of leaves, and then just the corm itself. Rhizome. I think they're rhizomes. So that's all you need to make your division for your iris. So I'm just going around here, and these like are so strong. So you can definitely use a knife or something else as well, but with your hands is probably the easiest way to make sure that you're getting what you need. So this piece is perfect. That's all you need. And then I'm also going to clip off the leaves to be a few inches long, because they don't need to try to keep all that greenery alive when they're trying to re-root into the ground. So I am working on this hosta right now, and I just wanted to show you guys how easy this is to split. So some of these you would be able to pull apart by hand. This one was not the case. Maybe it was either too late or too early, I'm not sure. So what I did was I cut this away from this one, and you can see there are distinct heads on this thing. So that's what I'm looking to split. And I have my trusty old bread knife here. So I am just going to cut this one right down the middle here too. And you can really see on this one how it used to have one head, and now it has split into multiple. So I'm just going to cut right down the middle. Oops, sorry. Watching what I'm doing, not what I'm recording. And now I just made this plant 3 pieces. That's all there is to it. And that's it for this video. So I hope this gives you some confidence to divide some of your perennials so that you can have more of your favorites.